All right, let's dive into something that is, truly the foundation of any great relationship. We're going to talk about how to build that deep, unshakable sense of emotional security with someone you really care about. But first, just think about this for a second. What actually makes you feel safe with another person? Really, truly safe. It's so much more than just hearing the words, I love you, right? It goes way deeper than that. It's about creating a genuine feeling of safety. So, what are we really talking about here? Emotional security. It's not just about saying the right thing, it's an actual physical feeling. It's creating an environment where someone's nervous system can finally just exhale. You know, where they know on a gut level that they're safe, that they're valued, and that they are completely understood. So, how do we actually build this? Well, we're going to look at it like we're building a house with three core pillars. And we have to start with the absolute bedrock, the foundation: trust. This is all about predictability and stability. It's the ground that everything else stands on. And here's the thing about real trust: it's not built on big, flashy gestures. Nope. It's forged in all those little, everyday moments. It's about consistency that tells someone's brain, hey, this person is predictable, they're safe. It's about emotional reliability, especially when things get hard. And it's about responding with calm instead of chaos, which actually helps their nervous system calm down too. I love this idea. You can think of it like this. Love can sometimes feel like a wild roller coaster, right? With all its ups and downs. But consistency, that's the sturdy, reliable track it runs on. It's that quiet power of just showing up, being who you say you are, day in and day out. And this is huge when it comes to disagreements. Being emotionally reliable means you don't just disappear or give them the silent treatment after an argument. That stuff is terrifying. Instead, your steadiness creates solid ground, a place where they know they can stand without ever worrying that it's going to crumble out from under them. Okay, so our foundation of trust is in place. Now we can start putting up the walls with our second pillar, language. The words we use are so incredibly powerful. They can either build a safe sanctuary or they can create a total battlefield. So think of these as your essential tools for construction. It's about making that big shift from just listening so you can reply to listening so you can actually understand. It's about validating their feelings, recognizing they're real, even if you don't totally get it. And it's about getting rid of all that anxiety that comes from guesswork by just being clear. Oh, this is a perfect example. A phrase like, you're overreacting, that's a wrecking ball to emotional safety. It just completely dismisses them. But look at the difference a simple shift makes. Your feelings matter. I get why that hurt you. That rebuilds the connection instantly. It says, I see you, and what you're feeling is important to me. And that little linguistic shift? It is so incredibly powerful. Validation is basically just communicating that you understand their internal world is real for them. And that simple act, all by itself, can turn the tide from deep insecurity to a real feeling of safety. And just remember, ambiguity is basically a breeding ground for anxiety. Come on, you know the feeling. When you have to guess what someone is thinking or feeling, where does your mind go? Usually straight to the worst-case scenario. Being clear isn't just helpful, it's an act of kindness. It builds incredible security. All right, on to our final pillar. We've got a foundation of trust, we've got walls of safe communication. Now it's time to actually furnish our emotional home with actions. These are the real, tangible things you do that prove you are a safe harbor. Support isn't a passive thing. It's an action verb. It's about actively looking for the good in them. It's about noticing the little details that make them who they are. It's about protecting their heart, not trying to control them. It's about creating a space where they can be totally vulnerable without any fear and always, always choosing actions that heal instead of harm. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? Appreciation isn't some one-time compliment. It's like watering a plant. It's those small, regular affirmations of their value, like saying, wow, I really appreciate how you handled that, that lets them completely flourish when they're with you. Really, at its core, this is all about making someone feel truly seen. It's noticing their effort when they're exhausted from work. It's recognizing how much they've grown as a person. It could just be acknowledging their unique, quirky way of looking at the world. Security comes from feeling like you genuinely matter to someone, that you're not invisible. So every single interaction gives us a choice, right? We can do things that tear down safety, like playing jealousy games or making them feel small with comparisons, or we can actively choose to build it up, We can create a judgment-free zone, we can be their biggest cheerleader, and we can have their back when they need it most. Okay, so let's zoom out and put this all together. When you combine these three pillars, you're doing more than just being a good partner or a good friend. You are literally becoming the architect of a safe emotional home for another person. And here it is, the blueprint. It's a solid foundation of consistent trust. It's strong walls built with safe, validating language. And it's a home filled with real, tangible actions of support. That right there is the complete structure of deep emotional security. So I'll leave you with this final thought. When you get really good at making other people feel safe, you don't just transform the relationship for them. You create a dynamic that's more peaceful, more honest, and more loving for everyone involved. So the real question is, by building that sanctuary for them, what kind of sanctuary do you end up building for yourself?